G'day, we're back to talk about the 3 pillars of business success.
We are indeed.
And today we're going to focus on what, Ed?
Well, the viewers here, they're going to focus on sucking up a load of pain, which is the truth of it. We've got the 3 pillars we talked about in the last video. We're going to show you how you can work out if you've really got it all nailed down. Lots of people in business will say, oh, we've already looked at this. And the question I normally ask is, great, you've looked at it, but are you doing it? And then there's normally a little bit of a silence. So it's entirely possible in that last video, you hopefully found lots of value. It's hugely valuable stuff, but you might just be tempted to be sitting there going, I've got all that covered. Well, we're just gonna spend a few minutes looking at whether you really have got it all covered.
Absolutely. So, g'day, Simo and Ed, and you're watching the Fast Line Track Race Show, where we talk all things business and karting.
We sure do.
So, where are we going to start?
Well, so we talked briefly last video about vision, velocity, value. Good old alliterative statements.
The 3 pillars of business success.
Absolutely. Now, you might have been sitting there, entirely possible, thinking, I've got it all covered. So we're going to start with the first one, which is, if there's a disconnect anywhere between your vision and the velocity part of your business, then how do you know that you're having a bit of pain or trouble there? Now, I'll tell you how you know that that's going on. I call it the operator. So I've even coined a phrase for it. And this is where that person, if they've got a problem somewhere between vision and velocity, they know what they want, but everything is on them. So if you're stuck in your business, you can't get out of your business, and it's not quite firing, it's not seamless, you may be pulling in a bit of money, you're covering a bit of wages, you're in there ducking and diving, you live to fight another day, you all go for a few beers at the end of the week and pat each other on the back, but you as the business owner have had to get involved in everything and it's all on you. Then there's a problem somewhere between your vision and the ability to generate profit and revenue. It's a painful place to be in.
We've all been there.
Well, I was just thinking, I've just had flashbacks to when I was in business and what I was doing, and everybody who's in business has been there.
Yeah.
It can get full on. It cost me a relationship in my business. You know, I was accused of all sorts of things, but I couldn't have done them. I was too busy. So perhaps I was playing away, but it was with my business, not a person. But you know, that's the reality of the situation. You don't get this stuff right, you're going to feel some pain, and the consequences can be big. So if everything is just sat on you, there is a problem somewhere with the vision in your company and the velocity. You are an operator, not a business owner.
And you know, it doesn't have to be that you have to do everything. It's sort of like, if you get into that situation where you need to generate a 10 grand of sales to pay a bill, and you have to do it, that's operation pain.
Well, it is. So you're going to be somewhere between that overwhelm and overwork stage that we talked about in another video. Probably getting to the end of the week on dregs of energy. So you're there going, hey, I'm going to build a business. This is a typical comment when there's a problem between vision and velocity. I'm building a company, great. And what's the aim for that? I want to go and build a fantastic life with my family. Fantastic. And what will that look like? Oh, more time with the children. We'll be there for the school sports day. I'll be there on their graduation day. I'll be there for that. We'll have long holidays together. And you're sitting there going, great. Like, how do you show up to them at the moment? I get in at the end of the week, knackered, exhausted. They want to go and do stuff, but I've got no energy. I lie in bed and don't get up in the morning. I've just got to recoup, try and get some sensible eating habits in. I've got to get down to the gym because I've got to lose a few pounds. I go, great. And your family? Oh, they'll be fine, because I'll do all this and then I'll make it up to them in a few years' time. Go, great, cool. We'll just put your kids' development on hold for a second while they wait for you to catch up. Because that's how it works.
Yeah, that was the plan for me. Okay. And my kids are now teenagers. And yeah, I have a bit more free time, but guess what? They're in their rooms.
Well, that's what happens, isn't it? I've written about this in my book, so I've got a book.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's more like a pamphlet. It's not a full-on book. It's just a small book, but it is written. But I talk about when your kids are 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, they're like, why, how, what does that do? Oh, well, don't touch that. What are you doing over there? Oh, crikey, they're off exploring. And they're just really curious about the world and want to be around everything, and they're exploring and they're open to conversation. And then by the time they hit about 11 to 15 years old, we've substituted that thirst for knowledge for thirst for relationship building. So now they don't want knowledge, they don't want to speak to you. They want to go and build relationships with their friends and with their online people that they're going like shoot them up gun games or whatever they're playing online. So they don't need mum and dad for a while. So they need to go off into the wilderness and find themselves a little bit, build their relationships around them. So if you have got young children and you're thinking, I'll get my business sorted and then we'll have a catch up in 8 years.
No.
Oof, that's ow. This could be a really painful video today. If you're sitting there in that situation, email us, we'll get that sorted for you quickly. Can't leave you in that much pain.
No. So, the second scenario.
Yeah, so we're done. Between vision and velocity, there could be a problem. Between velocity and value, right, you'll know if there's a problem somewhere between the velocity of your business and the value that you're creating because you're in firefighter mode. You may even use that term. People go, how are you getting on? I'm just fighting fires at the moment.
Yeah, or wrestling alligators.
Wrestling alligators, there you go. For anybody from down under, it goes gone walkabout.
You know.
So the reason that you're firefighting is because your business is probably growing because you've got bits of growth that are coming in there and it's a bit erratic, but your business is growing, but you're not aligned to anything, right? So it's like a free-for-all. So there's a problem somewhere between the velocity and value of your business. Like they're making up stuff on how they do it. There's a great program out there which I love, which is called Undercover Boss. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, yes.
I absolutely love that program. I mean, it's a bit staged. I won't tell you how I can deduce that. They just seem to find people in every company around America, predominantly, that I see this program in. And they sit down and tell me a bit about your personal life. And they've all got a similar backstory. Well, that's like a bit suspicious, but it makes for great television. I'll probably get sued now by some producer. I feel comfortable with that one. But it makes for better television. The undercover boss turns up, and the large companies out there in America, and the CEO's gone undercover and they're all disguised, and they're going, well, I've just found out what they're doing over here. They've invented a new way of doing this, or they haven't got the right equipment in, so this, they're over here just making it up as they go along. That's where it is just a free-for-all. Luckily, I've not seen one where it's been so bad that it's causing detriment to the business to the effect that it's going to bring them down. But it's entirely possible if it went unchecked. That it would be sitting there. In the end, there's so many different places doing things so many different ways.
It's going to hamper your growth and your profits there.
Well, also, like just that interchangeability of staff and how you need to move and what their understanding of, or even worse, because once you get to quite large, unless you've got the ability to go and speak to all your staff with ease, they're going to be making stuff up, and you stand up there one day and going, right, we're going to just nudge where we're going to go on. This is what we're heading for next, and you have them sitting there going, no, we're not. I can't. Because I can't hammer together enough wood pallets to go and do this little workaround solution I've made. I can't get more wood pallets to go and have the storage for you to go and do that. They're not going to come and tell you that. They're going to sit there and look at it and go, oh, that ain't going to happen. Crikey, I'll see how we get on, but I might have to go and get another job before they find out. It's like, and then all of a sudden you got staff leaving, you got bits and pieces, and then all of a sudden you are fighting fires. What's happened? Oh, the Miami officers, just half of them have just walked out today. Why? I don't know. We were looking after them really well. We've got all the employee benefits in there. All the salaries are above standard rate. We've just introduced a new health scheme, and half of them walked. What happened? I don't know. I just made a bad bunch of employees. Probably not. It's probably somewhere between your velocity and value statements. So, let's just go and have a look at what the procedures are doing. Are they being enacted? Is it bringing that value that you're looking for? Ouch.
Yeah, that's where your systems and your procedures come into place, isn't it?
It does. It will help them just realign, and also the ability to raise an issue. I don't think we can do it that way. So then all of a sudden you don't have to do it yourself. You may have to get involved just briefly to sort it out. But once you've done it, you're not fighting fires. Somebody's doing it for you. So if you're getting dragged into stuff, so the first one is it's all on you. This one's like, I'm just getting dragged into this. I'm going over here this time. But I've dealt with that. Right, I'm going to have to deal over here. All right, okay. If you're experiencing that, you've got a problem somewhere between velocity and value. Painful.
And the third state of pain.
Finale. Somewhere between value and vision. If something goes wrong there, you're in cash flow chaos. It's entirely possible, by the way, that you're all three of these.
Yeah.
Okay. Just remember, you don't just sit in one area necessarily. But if your cash flow is just causing you problems, you've got somewhere wrong between your value and your velocity, value and your vision. So you're in cash flow chaos. So you've got the vision, but things are either growing too fast or too slowly. And it might not just be steady state, by the way. So things might be happening, but really cause problems. Now, a steady state is far easier to deal with if you've got a steady state track, kart track, that's just doing bits and pieces. But sometimes it grows a little and it's a bit slow here, but it's within a tolerance. You can probably survive it. So even if you're surviving it, but cash flow is tight some months and then busy other months, I know some of you are seasonal, but within the months that you're trading, then there's a problem somewhere between your value and your vision. If it's hugely erratic swings, it can bring about the demise of your business. So when I had my proper business, as I call it, that was all around debt advice. I probably liquidated about 60 companies or something. I never know the exact number, but if you said it was 60 company liquidations I was involved in, or Chapter 11s as you call it in the States, I think. This is what I saw: erratic cash flow, little value, and vision maybe not understood, and somewhere between there, and they're going, this is just, it's all too unmanageable.
There are a lot of tracks out there that are in this position, because, and it was very evident over the last couple of weeks.
Okay,
so when was Easter? 2 weeks ago.
It is at the time of filming.
Yeah, at the time of filming, Easter was 2 weeks ago. Now, the week leading up to Easter, very quiet.
Yep.
Right. Then as soon as Easter, well, not even when Easter had finished, but towards the back end of Easter, the orders started coming in thick and fast.
Yeah.
And by the time we got back to work on Tuesday, it was just a full-on flood.
Yeah.
And people were ringing up going, I need that stuff desperately.
Yeah.
You know, and what had happened there is they didn't have the cash to make the purchases prior to Easter. Not all of them.
But there could be.
But there were some of them that didn't have the cash.
It could be
prior, and generated it over Easter.
One of them's cash. We were chatting to Ryan recently.
Yeah, one of them.
And he's going, no, here's your maintenance plan. Right, so it's understood at some level, but it hasn't been either communicated or it's not understood at a higher level where the purchases are made.
And yeah, that's the value. They don't have the stock in place.
Yeah.
Right, to be able to get these carts turned around quickly.
Yeah.
The communication between the owner and the mechanic isn't as good as it could be.
I'd go along with that in many scenarios.
And it was a third one.
What that he talked about? I can't remember that bit. Well, the point being though is that if you get any one element of that between your value and the vision, then you only need 3 or 4 carts off the track or 5 carts off the track on your busiest Easter weekend, and
which will affect your velocity.
Yeah. So you might as well just watch them. You should have just started burning 20s in the car park, because what is it? Is it a dollar?
It's a pound a minute roughly.
Yes, if you got 5, that's 300 an hour. For the sake of getting the long-term value of your business sorted by ensuring that longevity and everything's in line, and just at the peak moments when you need karts on tracks, it's happening. So,
and it's a very simple thing to do that. It's just put in place a inventory level of the highly consumable stuff, and maybe a little bit of the other stuff, and
that.
not so.
See, I was going to nod and go, yeah, but I don't think it is. I think it's simple for you because you've got really good data.
Yeah.
So you've been in the game long enough that you look at it and you go, right, so they probably need to buy some of these. They're going to definitely need some of those. We're going to have some of that. It's entirely possible that a truck could come up to you and go, look, we've got a budget of X and Easter's coming up. What should we be looking at? You go, well, if that is your budget there, then there's that and that. There's a couple of other things you probably need, but you'll get away with that probably for a few days. So once you made a bit of money at Easter, let's put that into a second delivery. And that's simple for you. But if you're in the thick of it in the kart track, and you've got to stand still or ask the right questions or get the right response, or it depends how mechanically minded you are, as one example. Very difficult. It's not easy to do. It could be simple, but it's so difficult to get it sorted. In fact, it's not even simple. It's where you need a separate pair of eyes looking on your business. This is why these 3 pillars work extremely well. So when I'm coaching, this is why they go, so it does appear simple when we talk through it, but they don't see it in the moment. And this is why these 3 things come together really well. And also how they give me indications or clues as to where we've got to start. There's some other stuff on where to start, but we probably won't cover that in a video. It's too much proprietary information. We'll give you a little indication there of some of the pain that you're experiencing. We'll give you the clues on what needs to be worked on.
And I mean, as you said before, you can be in multiple scenarios. You can be in classified chaos and be firefighting.
Well, yeah. So you absolutely. So you could have all 3. So you'd be cashflow chaos. You could be the operator in some areas and firefighting in others. And you're probably thinking that that seems all right. They only need my help once in a while, but that is a huge problem. And then you put the 5 levels of business ownership on top of it. Right. So in some ways you act like the business owner, and other days you're working like you're in overwhelm or just overworked, and you're really grumbling, and it's the bit that just makes you hate getting out of bed in the morning to come to your business. Right, so you get those 3 areas that are all highlighting a different, and then you've got all the 5 levels on top of that, and then people wonder why business owners get stressed out and hate their business some days, and they're going like, "Is this it?" And you're like, "No, that isn't it. There's a really cool way to deal with all this."
And it's not a thing of right. Yeah, I've done my mission. I've got my vision. I've got clarity on that. Tick. I've got my velocity. I can turn my tap on and off. Tick. I've got my value. Right. I've written out my procedures. Got my processes and all that. Tick. Job done. It's not like that, because as you grow,
it all changes. Everything does. The value might stay most constant, but I can see where it would alter.
No, I think the value changes because look at when you've got a small team in your business. You can communicate processes and procedures.
Yeah.
You hit that magic number.
Well, there are some magic numbers.
Yeah.
5. The 13th person is just unlucky 13. I mean, I think they think 13's unlucky because of Macbeth, I think. But I don't. I think it's because of business. There's also a biblical reference as well, but I won't go there. We're not about that. But you got the 5th person, the 13th person is an absolute hurdle that has to be met full on. And then the next one, I'm just trying to think in mind. I think it's either 20 or 25 people. And then once you get to sort of the next level up, if you got more than 25 people, the number of people that you can actually affect as a business owner is much less than that. Even if you know everybody by name, you're talking to them every day, you cannot affect that many people. And it becomes a different challenge. So getting through that growth stages actually is it's painful. I'm thinking back to all the mistakes I made. I was a shit director for 3 years. I really was. And then I really got it, right? And I was really starting to get to grips with it. And then I started noticing that other directors who I thought were really good, not in my business but outside, I was talking to them, I was going, you haven't got it. I don't think they've been through enough pain. And then into coaching, I'm like, I can sit down, particularly at board level, and work out whether we've got a director who's on top of it all and knows what it's really all about, or one that's like, well, you're all at sea, and you may or may not know that. That's cool. If you come on board, that pain that you're feeling, we can stop that. I'll show you how to resolve it. Put a little bit of business coaching balm on it. Let them calm down.
Your special balm.
That's it. Crikey, that's so Dutch. And then we're going to, but just getting to a point where suddenly business is making sense. So few understand it. And, I think it helps if you've been in there. You don't have to go through it, but I think it helps. You don't get the people who haven't run like a significant business sitting there chuckling at some of the stuff we're laughing at, because we've both been there. We've got scars, t-shirt, book. Watch out for the video. This is how I really hurt myself building a business. We laugh, but if you're sitting there in pain, you don't have to. Just reach out. We'll sort it.
No. You've got to laugh, because if you don't laugh, you cry.
Mm-hmm. You really do.
And we've been through this, and we'll go through it again.
Yeah. I'm only 24. I shouldn't have grey hair like this and looks like that. Yeah, nobody's immune to this. So it will happen again. It'd be really cool if you've got a real crystal clear path on the way through it, though.
Yeah, if you can identify where you are, where you need to fix very quickly, which, this helps.
Yeah, and even better if your staff know that there's a really crystal clear path on the way to get back to it, because now they're not thinking, oh, screw this, I'm going to go and get another job. They're thinking, okay, we're in a bit of pain, but they seem to be in control. They seem to have a plan. I might hang around for another 12 hours and see how we get on. And then let's hope we can extend that 12 hours to 12 days, and then 12 months, so that'd be, and then let's hope it's already 12 years, and you're going, fantastic, come on board.
Cool. All right, I think that's probably a good point to stop.
Yeah, we'll stop the pain.
We'll
turn it off with a little velocity tap. Let's stop the pain for you right now. We laugh and we joke because we're both in comfortable positions at the moment within our businesses. If you are seriously sitting there and that has not been the easiest video to listen to,
or a lot of those pain points resonated with you, then
for crying out loud, what are you waiting for? Come and speak to us. We'll go and get it sorted.
Cool. Well, it's goodbye from me.
Cheerio from me.
And we'll see you next week.